On my very first day live streaming antique appraisals, I spotted it, an ancient heirloom blade dripping with overwhelming resentment. Just one look, and I could tell this weapon had reached the 10,000 kill tier. But the very next thing I said, absolutely terrified everyone in the chat. Bro, there is something seriously wrong with your knife. Hey, little boss, you just said on stream that there's something wrong with this blade. Take a good look now. Is there still something wrong with it? Just as I was about to speak, a notification chime suddenly rang in my ear. Detected that the host bears the Tomb Raider's curse. Conditions met. God tier appraisal system activated. Novice reward. God tier appraisal skill. Can appraise any item. Mission. Live stream appraisals. Reach 100,000 viewers to unlock the Earth Core Culture Encyclopedia. Snapping back to reality, I swallowed hard and stared at that bizarre knife in front of me once again. This time, the anomalies were glaringly obvious. Before, I could only tell it was from the Ming or Qing dynasty, and didn't have a clue beyond that. But now, with the system's power, the blade's details were crystal clear, as if they were etched directly into my brain. Ming Dynasty castration knife, forged from fine iron 500 years ago, an instrument of immense suffering, radiating a dark, evil aura. Shaking off the shock, I finally spoke up. Big guy, there is seriously something wrong with your knife. Damn, this streamer's got balls. He's literally got a knife to his neck, and he still dares to talk trash. The chat was absolutely exploding with comments. Damn, this streamer's got balls. What exactly is wrong with my ancestral blade, huh? The shirtless, heavily tattooed brute raised the blade, spinning it around his massive back. Then, he stuck out his tongue and licked the edge of the blade, glaring at me menacingly. If you can't give me a good answer, things are gonna get ugly. Ha ha ha, my guy, that castration knife is definitely not something you want to be licking. The entire chat went completely silent, until one viewer suddenly figured it out. Oh, I get it. Look at how short the handle is. It's barely bigger than a kitchen knife in your hand. It's obviously meant for close-quarter combat. Long-handled weapons like the Guan Dao are for long-range combat. I stared at the chat, absolutely speechless. This guy was better at making things up than I was. If the big guy next to me wasn't already losing his patience, I would have loved to let him keep rambling. Nice guess, bro, but you're completely wrong. You misheard me. It's not close, as in distance. It's cleansing, as in purification. This is a castration knife. 27. Everyone heard it loud and clear. The hulking brute frowned. I don't give a damn about any cleansing. Just tell me what the hell is wrong with my knife. Bro, you said this was passed down through your family, right? When they gave it to you, did they ever mention what it was actually used for? Of course they did. My ancestors were high-ranking officials during the Ming and Qing dynasties. This blade has the words, fierce and mighty, carved into it. That was my ancestor's official title. He was known as the enemy of 10,000, an absolute powerhouse. He must have been a legendary general, and this very blade was his personal weapon. I carry it with me everywhere. I want my ancestors to know that our family's warrior spirit is still alive and kicking. I will never disgrace his legendary name. I'm gonna restore the manly glory of this mighty blade. Beefed, ha ha ha, I'm so sorry, I just couldn't hold it in. I swear I'm a professional. Ha ha ha, I seriously can't help it. The brute's face instantly darkened, his hand slowly creeping toward the hilt of the blade. The chat is begging me to stop beating around the bush. Just remember one thing, my friend. Heirlooms aren't always what they seem. This is a castration knife, used on men who wanted to serve in the emperor's palace. I pulled up an old photo. This right here is a Qing dynasty castration room. Look at the knife on the left, doesn't it look just like yours? It's an exact match. The chat completely blew up. A eunuch used this thing for self-defense? I was absolutely speechless. Some viewers couldn't bear to watch and typed out a warning. Big guy froze, then remembered he had literally just licked the blade. His face instantly turned ghostly pale. Everyone in the chat looked on with pure pity. I stood by the door, whipped out a folding fan from out of nowhere, and gave it a gentle wave. Yeah, it's pretty hard for a normal person to stomach. And seeing how naturally he did it, he's probably licked it more than once. Oh, by the way, here's a fun little fact. My friend, this castration knife was passed down from generation to generation in the castration room. They only engraved the word mighty on it after it was used on over 10,000 men. So, your ancestor really did conquer 10,000 men. Just, not the parts of them you'd expect. Gagging violently, the big guy, who had just stood up, doubled over again. He looked like he was about to puke up his own bile. Conqueror of 10,000 men, mighty. He never wanted to hear those words again for the rest of his life. And as for the knife? He never wanted to look at it again, either. The chat was going absolutely insane. User Filthy Rich tipped 41 rockets. Perfect timing to ride this wave of popularity and crush my streaming goals. But boring, regular appraisals wouldn't keep the crowd hooked. I thought about it for a second, grabbed a sign, and wrote down a few lines in beautiful, traditional calligraphy. I hung it up right next to me. Paid antique appraisals. Any category, 10 times your money back if I make a mistake. The whole chat instantly gasped. That was a massive claim, but I knew exactly what I was doing. There are tons of antique appraisers streaming online. The amateurs do it for free just for kicks, and the real pros charge a fee. But nobody dares to promise 10 times the money back if they're wrong, let alone for literally any category of antique. With a hook like this, someone was bound to test me. My popularity was going to skyrocket. Now, the viewers might not recognize my calligraphy style, but they definitely recognized the words 10 times your money back. Everyone started demanding an explanation. It's simple, paid appraisals. If I get the appraisal wrong, I'll pay you back 10 times the appraisal fee. Oh, and by the way, today's fees are cumulative. If I mess up on the very last item, I'll pay back the fees for every single appraisal before it. After dropping that bomb, I brewed a pot of tea, sat back, and waited for the customers to roll in. The chat completely lost its mind. You see, in the antique appraisal game, getting the hang of it isn't too hard. You've got 5 main categories: ceramics, jade, paintings and calligraphy, bronzeware, and miscellaneous items. The timeline spans over 5,000 years. The truly hard part? Actually mastering it. If you don't recognize something, you just don't know it. Not to mention all the crazy forgeries out there. Later dynasties faking earlier dynasties, modern times faking the Ming dynasty. Folk artisans faking official imperial wares, and the imperial kilns faking folk pieces. Once upon a time, a huge collector bought a torn ancient scroll for a massive price. He took it home only to realize it was a Ming dynasty knockoff. Even international level experts totally missed it. In the end, it took a top-tier expert from the Palace Museum to spot the flaw. Even world-class masters screw up, let alone some guy doing appraisals on a livestream. And here I was, promising cumulative payouts. One mistake and I'm done for. The chat went absolutely wild. Viewers started dragging their friends in to watch the drama. In just 10 minutes, the view count smashed past 10,000. Newcomers were completely clueless. Seeing me just casually sipping tea and fanning myself, they started spamming questions. The veterans calmly told them to check the stream title. A few minutes later, the chat blew up again. Damn, this streamer is insane. Anyone who dares to appraise literally anything with no limits is one of two things. Either an absolute master or completely out of their mind. Seeing how young I was, the chat automatically assumed I was the latter. The comments started getting restless. 10 times the payout? We're gonna be rich. But hey, what if this guy actually knows his stuff? You go test the waters first, I'll just watch. Nobody was sure about my skills, so they were all just waiting for a guinea pig to step up and test the waters. But me? Lose? How could I possibly lose? Not a chance. Everyone thought I was going to pull out my bank statements to prove I could pay. But I just casually dropped a not a chance. The whole chat just froze. It took them a hot minute to process it, before hyping me up as a ruthless guy of few words. I'll go. Hey streamer, I've got something I want you to take a look at. If you get it wrong, do I get 10 rockets? Nope. Seeing his face instantly go pale, I stopped messing with him. Just messing with you, since you're not a streamer yourself. I can't exactly gift you rockets. So if I lose, I'll just send you a $100,000 cash drop directly. It's a deal then, streamer. Check this out. I could tell what it was even through the screen. This is too easy. Is he a planted actor? Hey, I'm no actor. And I'm not asking about the material or the clarity. I want to know this piece's origin. Mine, streamer. You're not gonna tell me this is outside your area of expertise, right? The chat gasped. Jadeite is famous for coming from the Jade Nation down by the southwest border, and there are over 100 different mines big and small over there. That question is way too tricky. What normal person would know that? My expression froze for a second. The chat immediately burst out laughing. Hell yeah, the streamer is going down on the very first try. Hurry up and get someone to collect the money. Ha ha ha. The viewers frantically started tagging their friends. Other antique streamers only look at the age and clarity of jadeite. Who the hell can identify the specific mine it came from? Add the 10 times payout rule to the hype, and within just a few minutes, my view count smashed past 30,000 and was still climbing. Sorry about this, streamer, but if I wasn't tight on cash lately, I wouldn't be doing this to you. Don't worry, I'll tip you back once I'm rich. But seriously, when are you sending the cash drop? I can't wait anymore. The newcomers in the chat were also rushing me to make the appraisal. Tons of people in the chat were backing him up. As long as the streamer doesn't back out, I'll definitely pay up. The chat was spamming me to hurry the hell up. Come on streamer, don't waste everyone's money making time. I ignored the chat and just stared at the pendant on his neck. This thing isn't even jadeite in the first place. The chat thought I was stumped, and started booing me like crazy. Relax, my friend, I already know exactly what it is. I'm just afraid I'll scare the crap out of you if I say it. The chat room burst into laughter. Alright then, the features of the 8 major jade pits in the Jade Kingdom are very obvious. Da Ma Kan stones have a thick crust, and the skin is blended right into the flesh. When stones sit in water for a long time, their skin gets thin. The gray, green, and yellow colors separate out front, often yielding full, high-quality emerald green. Kaka, Chi-Chi, Mo Wanji, Mo Shisha, Mu Na, Hpakan. They are all completely different. In 3 minutes, I reviewed all 8 major pits. The entire chat room was completely dumbfounded. He knows his stuff pretty well, doesn't he? But just knowing the theory doesn't mean he can actually spot it. What if it's just book knowledge? Yeah, if his eyes are that sharp, wouldn't he just go gamble on raw stones? Why bother appraising treasures here? Streamer, you've said so much. Which pit is mine exactly from? My friend, why don't you ask your fiancé first? Are you sure this is from one of the 8 major pits? I don't need to ask. You wouldn't lie to me. Just spit it out. I sighed. This jadeite pendant of yours is a bit off. It doesn't look like it's from the 8 major pits. It actually looks more like the Dushan pit. What does that mean? The whole live stream was confused. Where is the Dushan pit? The Dushan pit is a specialty of the Dushan mining area in the Central Plains province. It's Dushan jade. Its properties are very similar to jadeite, so it's also called Dushan jadeite. If you want to know what your item has to do with real jadeite, that's exactly it, just the name. I delivered the final blow. As for the price, it's probably enough for you to buy 2 cups of bubble tea. Just remember not to add too many extra toppings. Otherwise, selling this pendant won't even cover the cost of the tea. The chat room erupted into roaring laughter. What a blatant slap in the face. Haha, don't add too many extra toppings is savage. Not even enough for bubble tea. Impossible, you're talking nonsense. It's clearly a jadeite pendant. How could it possibly be? What did you call it, Dushan jade? Good heavens, he appraised a jadeite as Dushan jade. The streamer is ruthless. Is that even a real thing? Suddenly, someone flashed a staff ID badge in the chat. Sis, I'm a national-level jewelry appraiser. I just watched the whole process. If you trust me, bring it a little closer to the camera and I'll take a look for you. A first-class master from the National Jewelry Association. There are only a few of them in the whole country. We actually have a big shot like this in the chat room? The chat room was completely stunned. It really is Dushan jade. Actually, I was checking my popularity score. Over 40,000, not even half of the 100,000 goal. At this rate, I'll hit it very soon. My friends, does anyone else want me to look at their items next? I felt a wave of joy. The viewers in the chat room started whispering among themselves. The first time was a coincidence, but the second time can't possibly be a coincidence too, right? He can tell apart Dushan jade and jadeite, which look so much alike, just through a screen. This streamer really knows his stuff. For a moment, no one dared to step up. I shook my head. Still not enough people. Otherwise, someone would have challenged me by now. No way. Not a single capable one here? Right as I said that, I heard a familiar voice. Boss, it's this streamer. He said my knife was weird. He said it was used by eunuchs to do that thing. The tough guy who licked the castration knife earlier walked in, bringing another equally fierce-looking man with him. A nasty scar ran diagonally across the man's entire face. One look and you knew you shouldn't mess with him. The guy plops down, spreading his legs wide, and flashes me a grin that's honestly worse than a crying face. My brothers tell me you've got a real eye for things, little boss. I've got something here I'd like to trouble you to take a look at. If you appraise it wrong, you'll pay up, right? He shot a glance at my fake 1 pays 10 sign. He gestured with his chin. Meanwhile, my livestream chat was blowing up, asking if we should call the cops. They were clearly here to pick a fight, but I just smiled. I was just worrying about how to get more viewers, and well, here they are. What nonsense are you guys talking about in the chat? A visitor is a guest. Why would we call the cops? Hurry up and invite your friends to come watch the stream. Appraising treasures is what we do best here. What would you like me to take a look at, my friend? I charge a fee for appraisals, I told him. Without a word, he opened his hand, revealing a pitch-black bell. He gave it a little shake. Ding-a-ling. The sharp chimes somehow gave the entire chat a cold sweat, right in the middle of broad daylight. My gaze zeroed in on it. A genuine soul-summoning bell, a ritual artifact passed down through generations of corpse drivers from Shaanxi, dating back to the Qing dynasty. It was used to guide the dead. The handle of the bell was ring-shaped, featuring a 3-faced Buddha head representing the past, the present, and the future. The bell's body was carved with Arhat talisman reliefs. The chant goes, Shaanxi Yiling, spirits crossing. Mortals make way, away, away, away. When shaken in tune with the chant, it produces hallucinogenic chimes. I looked back up at Scarface, and noticed his forehead was a bit red and swollen. Hey buddy, there's something very wrong with your bell. Oh, it's a genuine antique, alright. Without several generations of handling, it wouldn't have this dark patina. This is a soul-summoning bell used by occult masters back in the Qing dynasty. Once this bell rings, your life is practically over. Have you run into some serious trouble lately? Like, say, a car crash? He gasped. Master, you're a real master. How on earth did you know I just got into a car crash? I didn't bother explaining. I just grabbed the bell and shook it. Ding-a-ling, ding-a-ling. The little bell goes ding-a-ling. Treasure of Yiling in hand, the dead walk the road. The living must make way. After 2 chimes of the bell, Scarface and his knife-licking buddy suddenly rolled their eyes back, looking completely brain-dead. I sat behind my desk, muttering the incantations. Shaanxi Yiling, spirits crossing. Mortals make way, away, away, away. My voice grew louder and louder with every chant. A faint, howling wind could be heard sweeping across the eaves. The viewers in the chat felt their scalps tingle with fear. Suddenly, a voice echoed in my head. Special item detected. Soul summoning bell activated. The cold, mechanical system prompt rang out. My body gave a violent jerk. In an instant, countless fine, black veins suddenly surfaced on both my arms, spiraling and snaking their way up my entire body. I felt like I had been plunged into an icy abyss, my entire body violently shivering. The bell slipped from my grasp and crashed to the floor. After a sharp, deafening clang, everyone, both inside the room and watching the stream, completely snapped back to reality, unable to suppress a sudden, deep shiver. Me too. It got so cold. The cola next to me literally turned ice cold. The chat started getting seriously freaked out. The host just said that's a soul summoning bell. You don't think a ghost actually came out, do you? Don't talk nonsense. Someone in the crowd wanted to argue, but the words just caught in their throat. How else can you explain this if it's not a ghost? Scarface and the knife-licking guy snapped back to reality too. They fell to their knees with a heavy thud. Master, please save us. They knew exactly what had just gone down. Their minds were half asleep and half awake, completely out of control, forced to obey the bell's commands. I have no doubt that if I had just said the word die a second ago, they would have thrown themselves out and crashed to their deaths. Now, they were looking at me like I was some kind of god. They didn't dare to doubt me for a single second. My friends, like I just said, this bell is used in the occult for summoning souls. There's nothing special about the bell itself, but the inner patterns and shape are specifically designed. When it rings along with a chant, it puts people into an involuntary hypnotic state. It's like high-level white noise. What I was chanting just now was the spell for this very bell. I said you got into a car crash because I saw a knot on it, which obviously means it was hanging in your car. Without the chant to activate it, the soul-summoning bell only messes with your mind at most. But over time, there's no guarantee it won't put you into the exact same trance you just experienced. That's exactly why I said, Once the bell rings, your life is over. Got it? And there's one more problem. I suddenly stopped talking, a smile creeping across my face. Everyone in the live stream was hooked on every word, and then I just paused. It was like a total buzzkill right at the climax. The chat completely blew up in seconds. Do you see this rocket? I'd rather blow it up than give it to you. Hey, I was just worried you guys were too sucked in and hadn't snapped out of it yet. But since you're all awake now, I'll just say it. My friend, take a look and see if there's anything on your hand. Scarface raised his hand. He let out a loud gasp as the camera zoomed in. Everyone was absolutely stunned. There were actually 3 Buddha lotuses right in the palm of his hand. They were bright green, glowing with this really creepy light. People drew in sharp breaths. Streamer, what the hell is going on here? Something's really messed up with this thing. And why are you calling him streamer? Call him Master Ning. Wait, is this some kind of curse? I've read up on this before. Touching this Buddha head kills you within a few days. The one on Scar's hand has got to be a curse. Look closely, you guys. These 3 Buddha figures, they look just like skulls. Everyone leaned in for a closer look. A chill ran down their spines. Those 3 Buddha heads really did look like 3 skulls clustered together. Why would a perfectly good Buddha statue look like that? Someone in the chat suddenly spoke up. This is the Buddha head curse, isn't it? Holy crap, it's actually Master G. He's the most famous Taoist master in the whole country. An absolute expert in feng shui, face reading, and divination. He's Celestial Master Zhong's own disciple. Just one consultation fee from him starts at 7 figures. The whole crowd immediately started begging him for answers. My friends, the Buddha head curse is something I read about in my sect's secret scrolls. In Buddhism, there's a story about the illusion of beauty as a skeleton, warning people not to get obsessed with superficial looks. A high monk actually created a Buddha statue based on this exact lesson. At first glance, the Buddha head looks dignified and majestic, but as soon as night falls, it turns into a skull. That is the famous skull Buddha. This thing is pretty controversial too. There are only 2 possible outcomes if you touch it. One is grasping Buddhist philosophy and reaching true enlightenment, and 2 is being possessed by inner demons. Later on, this thing just vanished into the river of history. I thought that bell looked really creepy just now. A normal spirit calling bell couldn't possibly have that kind of power. Buddy, you've gotten yourself into some huge trouble. You need to get this completely cleaned up. You've got to hire an expert for a purification ritual. That'll start at 7 figures, at the very least. After all, even the scientific community hasn't figured out what this curse actually is. People have actually passed away because of this. He's under a mountain of stress. Master Lee, could you do it any cheaper? Cheaper? Sure, of course you can. Just go buy an urn. Who knows, you might be able to use it right away without dealing with the curse. Everyone in the livestream went cold. Who knew watching an antique appraisal stream could actually be life-threatening? Of course, you can always go ask someone else to see if they have a cheaper way to handle it. But I'd still suggest acting fast. I suddenly spoke up. The whole livestream froze. Isn't Master Ning just an antique appraiser? He can even solve mystical stuff? Scarface immediately got super excited. Master Ning, is that true? You've got to save me, please. I don't want to die. When it's a matter of life and death, pride means absolutely nothing. He kowtowed like crazy, banging his head a few times. Then he suddenly realized something, and pulled an envelope right out of his bag. He offered it up with both hands. That 100,000 from before was just the appraisal fee. This right here is for your services. Please, you absolutely have to save me. I opened the envelope, and only pulled out a single bill. Buddy, this problem of yours is super simple. It doesn't cost this much money. This is plenty. Just 1 bill? Are you kidding me? Let alone the fact that the buddy didn't believe it. Scarface himself panicked. You get exactly what you pay for. More money makes things easier to solve. He understood that logic perfectly. Master Ning, honestly, I just felt that 7-figure price from Master Lee was just way too expensive. But I can definitely pull together a few tens or hundreds of thousands. Master Ning, you really gotta save me, please. I know, let go of me. I didn't care what he was thinking, and just picked up a bottle of liquid soap. He squirted it right onto his hands. Scarface was completely dumbfounded, but since I already gave the word, he didn't dare to refuse. He could only rub his hands together as hard as he could. Alright, take a look now. Scarface yelled out in pure excitement, "It's fading." It faded. He held out his hands. The skull Buddha mark from earlier had actually faded a ton. Master Ning, what's the logic behind this? What curse? That's just copper rust stained onto your skin. It's true that this thing is from the Qing dynasty, but someone took it back and gave the surface a fake aged finish. This is just the leftover pigment from that faux aging process. It's made from natural dye mixed with copper powder. It's an antiquing technique used by the old masters in the Qing dynasty palace. You absolutely won't see it on the market nowadays. So nobody knows about it. Just wash it, and it comes right off. As for that curse Master Li mentioned, well, that's actually a real thing too. It's just not like that. Then what is it? What is it really like? I'm so curious. Master, hurry up and tell us. Everyone got super curious. Curses have been recorded throughout history. They might fall into the realm of metaphysics, but if you really analyze them, there are actually scientific traces to follow. For example, take the most famous pharaoh's tomb, where the curse says anyone who enters must die. At first, everyone thought it was the pharaoh's curse, but later, scientists cracked the secret. It's caused by the pyramid's internal structure. The deeper you go, the thinner the air gets. When you reach the critical point, you suddenly faint, and gradually suffer brain death from hypoxia. Ancient people couldn't bring oxygen tanks inside, so they thought the curse had worked. As for food in the pyramids not rotting, and the rumors of immortality, that's simple too. No oxygen and low temperatures make it just like your fridge at home. Plus, the climate in Egypt is super dry. It's completely normal for things to stay fresh for a long time. It's just like how things can be preserved for ages in the northern parts of our country. These are all normal phenomena. People think curses are so mysterious. But sometimes they just put psychological pressure on you. After I said that, the livestream chat just exploded. I'm instantly not afraid of curses anymore. Not afraid at all. Master Ning, am I cured now? Not yet. His face turned pale again. The color hasn't fully faded. You still need to scrub yourself well for a few days. Oh, right, take this back. I held up the bell and gave it a couple of shakes. Scarface turned and bolted, his voice trailing far behind him. You can just keep it, Master Ning. I don't want it anymore, I don't want it. By the time he finished shouting, the guy was already 100 meters away. The livestream viewers were completely dumbfounded. Oh my god, with that speed for a 100-meter sprint, he could probably break 8 seconds. Human potential really is limitless. I pocketed the bell, planning to study it after the stream. Is anyone else bringing items to appraise? I am, I'll do it. A single comment popped up. Suddenly, a massive golden icon popped up on the screen. Emperor tier user Wang Jinying had entered the livestream. The comment section completely blew up. Holy crap, Emperor Wang Jinying is actually here. You don't know Emperor Jinying? He's the biggest whale on the entire Kunlun streaming platform. Just activating the Emperor status cost him almost 10 million. And that's not even counting the tips. Last year, when he was hyping up a streamer, he dropped 10,000 rockets in a single night. 10 times compensation if I'm wrong. But I collect the appraisal service fee up front before I look at anything. 10 times compensation if I'm wrong. I'll take on any item, no matter how huge. Alright, after Wang Jinying said that, the stream went totally quiet for a while. Then, suddenly, a wall of alerts appeared on the screen. Emperor tier user Wang Jinying has gifted 100 rockets. Repeated 100 times, the tip notifications flashed 100 times. Everyone stared at the total amount, and silently gulped, just a casual flex, and he drops 1 million just like that. Suddenly, my vision flashed brightly. Just now, the system detected the host's live appraisal stream. Popularity has reached 100,000. The Encyclopedia of Earth's core culture has been distributed. Then, my mind slipped into momentary chaos. In just a split second, an infinite amount of knowledge covering astronomy, geography, biology, culture, and folklore just completely flooded my brain. If I hadn't been prepared, that massive information dump would have turned me into an absolute vegetable. When I finally came to my senses, I couldn't hold back my sheer excitement. With this thing, every artifact ever recorded in history is now permanently etched into my brain. Calling me a walking library would be a massive understatement. I'm literally a human database now. I can instantly pull up whatever information I need. There is absolutely nothing I don't know anymore. The chat actually thought I fainted from that $1 million donation. They were all laughing, but I just gave a calm nod. Appraisal fee received, my friend. So, what are we looking at today? Let's go with this. Wang Jinying casually slid a thumb ring off his finger. I sneaked this away from my old man. Take a look, what's the quality like? But the moment he set it down, everyone was instantly blinded by the table underneath. The entire surface was a translucent, glowing gold. Its wood grain hid shimmering threads of gold, flowing like majestic mountains and cascading waterfalls. Golden thread Nanmu wood, Wang Jinying just nodded. I think so. It was made from an old grand pillar salvaged from the imperial palace back in the day. The table itself is a few hundred years old, but whatever, that's not important. Let's focus on the ring instead. That table alone is worth millions, and he casually says it's not important? Man, comparing yourself to the rich will only drive you crazy. But when my eyes actually landed on the thumb ring, I got even more jealous. The entire ring was so vibrantly green, it looked like it was dripping with water. The internal patterns faintly formed the shapes of a dragon and a phoenix, and there was even a Manchurian pearl set in the middle. Now that is some good stuff. Look at that flawless, dripping green. It even has dragon and phoenix motifs inside. What an incredible eye you have. That's at least an ice glass imperial green. Actually, I'd say it's top-tier high ice jade. As the chat debated endlessly, a confident smirk crept onto my face. I shook my head slightly. My friends, you really shouldn't just take wild guesses at this. This is Dragon Stone Jade, a legendary piece you wouldn't see in 1,000 years. I'm afraid this single ring is easily worth 100 million. The entire chat instantly exploded in a frenzy. Everyone was glued to their screens, dying to hear what this Dragonstone Jade was all about. We all know how jadeite works. First, you look at the color, and second, you look at the texture grade. The ice and glass grades you guys just mentioned refer to the texture. Things like vibrant green and imperial green refer to the color. Glass grade jade is perfectly transparent with zero impurities. It's the absolute best among standard jades. Ice grade is just a step below it, but an imperial green piece with flawless, solid color? That's the holy grail of jade. Normally, the very best jade you could ever hope to find is a high ice imperial green. Wait, this isn't just another piece of Dushan jade, is it, bro? Oh, Dragonstone Jade is on a completely different level from Dushan Jade. One sits right at the very top, and the other is absolute garbage in comparison. You see, jadeite is generally split into two categories: mountain jade and water jade. Mountain jade, as the name suggests, is mined straight from the mountains. But the raw stone for Dragonstone Jade is the only type found deep inside natural caves. The chances of finding one are incredibly slim. You might find just one in over 100,000 raw stones. And get this, the name Dragonstone was actually given by Emperor Qianlong himself. Emperor Qianlong? That's right, back then, the Yunnan province presented a pair of Dragonstone bracelets as tribute, and they were mind-blowing. Qianlong noticed that these bracelets actually shifted colors depending on the time of day. He immediately demanded to know what kind of jade it was. But back in those days, the officially recognized jades were only Hachan, Lanshan, and Shuyan. Jadeite wasn't even considered a true jade yet. The locals in Yunnan called it dragon plaque, or dragon species. But the officials were absolutely terrified of offending the emperor, so they didn't dare speak up. Finally, someone caught Qianlong in a good mood and explained it. Qianlong then used the homophone of his own name, Long, to officially dub it the Dragonstone species. And that's how the absolute king of jades came to be. Thanks to the unique geographical environment. This gives Dragonstone Jade a unique trait you won't find in any other jade. A variety of vibrant, living colors. A whole universe trapped in ice. You see, all Dragonstone Jade is glass grade. The color naturally shifts. Catch it under the light, and it gives off a stunning cat's eye effect. At night, it even glows. That universe in ice actually comes from the delicate, icy silk threads running inside it. They don't ruin the transparency at all. Instead, they form completely natural patterns. Emperor Qianlong's pair of bracelets had a mountain and river pattern inside them, symbolizing an eternal empire. But honestly, they don't even compare to the dragon and phoenix on this thumb ring. Right now, at high noon, it's a solid, brilliant green. The dragon and phoenix pattern in the center should be projecting outward right about now. Oh, by the way, my friend, drop that thumb ring into a clear glass of water. I'm gonna show you guys something amazing. Wang Jinying quickly found a spot on his balcony and set a glass of water right by the window. "There's absolutely nothing here," he complained, just as the glass accidentally tipped over and crashed to the floor. The chat's collective heart skipped a beat. That was a dragon stone jade worth 100 million. Wang Jinying scrambled to pick up the thumb ring, letting out a massive sigh of relief. "Well, the glass is busted. But let's see this amazing thing Master Ning was talking about." As the sunlight poured in, a brilliant patch of green light washed over the floor. A flawless projection of a dragon and phoenix chasing a pearl appeared on the ground. As the spilled water shimmered, the dragon and phoenix seemed to come completely alive, soaring and circling around the glowing pearl in the center. The entire livestream was absolutely dumbfounded. No one even dared to breathe too loudly, terrified that even a breath might shatter the magical scene. After what felt like ages, Wang Jinying cleaned up the mess. He slid the thumb ring back onto his finger. "Master Ning, what's your final verdict on this thing?" The chat was totally confused. "Wait, didn't he already appraise it? We already know it's a dragon stone jade thumb ring." The chat was buzzing. "Come on, who does an appraisal and only names the material?" Someone typed, "If that's all it takes, I could be a livestream appraiser too. Just say it's a porcelain vase or a bronze sword and call it a day." Another chimed in, "Master Ning has a great eye. But you still haven't told me the era or the origin of my thumb ring." Wang Jinying pressed. "How about you take another look, Master Ning?" "No need," I said, waving him off. I was completely calm and collected, leaving everyone in the chat totally stunned. Was I really going to double down? "Looking at a piece once is more than enough," I told them. "Looking twice is just a waste of time. It's a late Qing dynasty dragon stone jade thumb ring. It has a naturally formed dragon and phoenix chasing a pearl inside, with auspicious clouds carved into the inner band. It was crafted during the Daoguang era by Yao Huhan, a master jade carver from the Imperial Palace workshop," I explained. "It mysteriously vanished after Empress Dowager Cixi gifted it to Li Lianying." I stated it bluntly. Empress Dowager Cixi ordered it to be made. It's the handiwork of Yao Haowang from the Qing Imperial workshop. Its last known owner was Li Lianying. Where on earth did your old man get his hands on this thing? The chat's collective jaw dropped. "Wait, Li Lianying's? Why is it always stuff used by eunuchs?" Someone joked, "Wait, hold on, the most important part is Cixi. Round it up, and that's basically an imperial thumb ring. He's gonna be filthy rich, that's insane." Everyone was completely lost for words. Wang Jinying froze for a second, before suddenly letting out a massive scream. "Why the hell would you say my ring was used by a eunuch?" He yelled. "It's not just me saying it. It's literally recorded in historical texts," I said, nodding seriously. The chat cringed so hard. They all thought I was just adding some dramatic flair to the story. But no one expected it to be actual documented history. Wang Jinying looked absolutely dumbfounded. "It's real. It was specifically mentioned in the veritable records of the Qing dynasty." The official records are pretty brief, but the unofficial histories go into much more detail. It's based on accounts from the folks close to Li Lianying and Prince Gong. You see, archers' rings were originally used for shooting arrows. Noble youths of the 8 banners were constantly required to master horseback riding and archery, so every rider wore one. Later on, civil and military officials all jumped on the bandwagon, splitting the rings into 2 distinct styles, civil and military. The civil ones were intricately carved for decoration, while the military ones were just plain, smooth bands. When Prince Gong got his hands on this piece of jade back in the day, he just had it made into a plain military ring. Later, Li Lianying took a liking to it and went to Empress Dowager Cixi to ask for it. He then had the palace jade carvers alter it to look like it does now. And that, my friends, is the whole backstory. I'm not just making this up, folks. Someone actually wrote this down. Who, you ask? Princess Rongshu. Most of the viewers were completely stumped. She's recorded in the history books as the very last princess of the Qing dynasty. Prince Gong's eldest daughter. In the eyes of the Qing loyalists, she was the true final princess of the great Qing Empire. She dared to talk back to Empress Dowager Cixi, and even had the guts to scold Puyi's own father. She possessed the most impeccable royal etiquette and the grandest sense of pageantry. To borrow a monologue from a certain movie, I am the last princess of this dynasty. The purest royal blood flows through my veins. My grandfather was the supreme ruler of the entire great Qing Empire. I have witnessed the final glory and madness of this empire. I personally laid both the Emperor and the Empress Dowager to rest. I have lived across centuries and dynasties, watching the profound transformations of this land. I am absolutely unique in this world, and there will never be another one like me. Princess Rongshu. The live chat instantly blew up. Master Ning, that monologue was insane. You should seriously consider becoming an actor. Actor? Watch your mouth. With Master Ning's skills, he's an artist, at the very least. So jealous. This is what they mean by having the talent to make it big. Choosing to rely on sheer skill instead. Waiting for the chat to calm down, I continued. The story was recorded in Princess Rongshu's personal diary. As the daughter of the man involved, even if she was a bit biased towards her family, the general gist of the story should be completely true. But as for the design inside the ring, I chuckled as I looked at the comments. Prince Gong wore it for so long, yet he never realized it had a dragon and phoenix playing with a pearl pattern hidden inside. It ended up being a massive steal for Li Lianying. It's all about timing and fate. That's just how the antique world works. When luck is on your side, you could stumble upon a massive gold nugget right in a dirt pile. But when you're out of luck, even a rare set of 5 emperor coins in your hands is just treated like scrap metal. Didn't the news report that some fishermen abroad picked up over 10 kilograms of ambergris right on the beach? It was worth over 5 million. When luck hits, there's absolutely no stopping it. Everyone listened with deep envy, wondering when that kind of incredible luck would ever happen to them. Oh, by the way, folks, I actually have a foolproof, risk-free way to get filthy rich. Want to hear it? Tell us. Aside from Wang Jinying, who was born with a diamond spoon in his mouth, every single person in the chat instantly perked up. The chat was flooded with eager messages, and I casually spoke up. Just deposit 10,000 bucks into your digital wallet, and collect the daily interest. Use that interest to buy a lottery ticket every single day. You're guaranteed not to lose a dime of your original cash. And the max payout is 5 million. How does that sound? The live stream went dead silent for a few seconds. Wow, you really have a life hack for everything. The chat instantly erupted into jokes and teasing, but I just laughed it off and ignored them. Looking at the screen with a smile, I said, well, my elite friend. Did you figure it out this time? Oh, absolutely. More than enough. I'm definitely swapping this out for the old man later. Stuff worn by eunuchs? No way am I keeping that trash. Saying that, he tossed the thumb ring aside without a second glance. The livestream chat was so jealous they were absolutely speechless. Here they were, grinding away for 5 million, while this guy didn't even care about 100 million. Master Ning, I've got another little trinket here. Help me take a look at this one too. I grabbed it from the study at home. No idea whose it is. I saw it had a hole, so I just slapped it on as a keychain. Wang Jinying held up a jade pendant. The Hachan jade base was incredibly smooth and delicate. Front and back had different carvings. On the front were 2 intertwined, 5-eyed golden snakes. You couldn't even tell the head from the tail, forming a standard circular jade pattern. On the back were 8 incredibly fine strokes. At first glance, the writing looked like ancient seal script, but looking closer, it wasn't. It carried a strange, mystical vibe. There was a small hole at the top of the jade, threaded right through with a bunch of keys. As I stared at the pendant, a string of information flashed before my eyes. Imperial Qingwei token, passed down from the Qingwei sect of the Song dynasty. The edges are 3.2 inches high. The top arches up by 0.2 inches, and it's 1.4 inches wide. Half an inch thick, bestowed by Emperor Lizong of the Southern Song dynasty, to the 9th generation leader of the Qingwei sect, Huang Shengxuan. It is the ultimate artifact of the Qingwei sect, capable of warding off evil spirits. I furrowed my brows and focused. There was a crack on the jade pendant. It had formed no more than 3 days ago. Seeing this, I asked, have things felt a bit off for you these past couple of days? Off? What do you mean by that? Like you ran into some kind of danger, but walked away completely fine. The moment I said that, Jiyu Chenwei popped up in the chat again. Master Ning, that's just wrong. Looking at our elite friend here, his forehead is bright and full. The bridge of his nose is straight and strong, his mouth is well-shaped, and his lips are ruddy. With a flawless face like jade, in ancient times, he'd be at least a top-ranking minister. This is a face of absolute blessing. No sickness, no disasters. Furthermore, if I'm not mistaken, this piece of jade is a priceless Taoist treasure. It's been passed down for 3 or 4 generations, fully blessed with spiritual power. With a protective charm like this, you wouldn't even need to fear a car crash. Master Ning, you can't just spout nonsense claiming our elite friend has run into trouble. Those cheap street scammer tricks won't work here. You've got to respect the famous Taoist, Ji Chenwei. Now this was way more hype than any anime. Viewers started frantically tagging their friends to watch. Coupled with the hype from Wang Jinying dropping all those rocket donations, the viewer count in Ningyu fans' stream had already smashed past 200,000. Money really does make the world go round. Looking at his face, my only regret was that the system hadn't issued a new quest yet. Ji Chenwei had already pulled out his face reading manual, getting ready to preach. I looked up at the screen. Alright friends, first of all, we need to completely reject feudal superstition. Ji Chenwei had barely opened his mouth before he was cut off. Who said that? I raised an eyebrow, staring at the screen. Listen up, my friend. First off, let's be crystal clear here. Face reading definitely has an element of old-school superstition to it. Master Ning, are you saying face reading is just total nonsense? What about all that ancient face reading wisdom? There are plenty of cases where they got it spot on. Are you telling me that was all just blind luck? The entire chat suddenly started buzzing with curiosity. When did I ever say face reading is complete nonsense? I just said, that simply linking someone's looks to their luck is just outdated superstition. But I never completely denied face reading. In fact, I think face reading is actually a brilliant technological invention. The viewers in the chat were totally stunned. What do you mean, Master Ning? First you say it's outdated superstition, and now you're calling it a tech invention? We're all ears for your brilliant theory, Master Ning. My friends, face readers are actually the ancients' earliest use of big data. Peeved. That's so absurd. Way to slap your own face, man. Hilarious. Master Ning, you're an antique appraiser. You shouldn't be riding the hype train of tech trends. The moment those words left my mouth, the chat absolutely exploded. I just laughed out loud. What's so funny about that? I'm not joking. Think about it carefully, guys. The things they say in face reading. Doesn't it sound exactly like big data tagging people? Your forehead is bright, your forehead is dark, your forehead is pale. How are those phrases any different from your algorithms tagging you with, likes Sichuan food, likes Shandong food? Or likes Hunan food? Big data sees that you like Sichuan food, that you buy a plane ticket back to Sichuan every New Year, and that your most dialed contacts are in Sichuan. It concludes that you're a lonely single guy. Do you see any flaw in that logic? As soon as I said that, a lot of viewers unconsciously nodded. But then it hit them, and the chat instantly flooded the screen. Oh boy, I just got called out for being single. Master Ning, that hurts way too much. Once the chat calmed down a bit, I went on. The ancient art of face reading used the exact same logic. Life was tough back then, so it was much easier to spot a person's social class than it is today. Most people wore rough linen, while a lucky few wore fine silk. And back then, even having money didn't fix everything. The social hierarchy was strict: scholars, farmers, artisans, and merchants. The middle two classes were allowed to wear silk but couldn't afford it, while the merchants could afford it but were forbidden by law to wear it. That naturally divided people into clear classes. Think about it. When people went for fortune-telling or face-reading back in the day, what was the very first thing they were asked to do? What? The chat couldn't figure it out. To write a character. Exactly. I nodded in satisfaction. Literacy was terribly low in ancient times. Being able to write versus not being able to write separated you into two completely different worlds. With that simple test, there was no guesswork needed. As soon as a client walked in, if they could write and dressed well, they were an elite official. If they could write and dressed plainly, and came alone, they were a struggling scholar. If they could write, dressed plainly, but were followed by an entourage, they were a merchant. Once they figured out your identity, it was just a matter of telling people what they wanted to hear. If you were handsome, they'd say you had a broad, blessed forehead and a face as pristine as jade. If you looked average, they'd say your features were perfectly balanced and stable, promising a life free of worries. But if you were but ugly, they'd say your career path would be bumpy, and your love life would be a disaster. These kinds of skills, any human resources manager with a few years of experience could do perfectly well. Heck, anyone who's made PowerPoints for a few years could pull it off. And that is exactly why I say face reading is just big data. When I finished, the entire chat went dead silent. But the more they thought about it, the more it made sense. One viewer immediately sighed. No wonder every time I ask about marriage, they know my love life is a mess before I even open my mouth. That hurts. You are way too brutal, Master Ning. I'm never believing in fortune telling again after hearing this. I looked back at the screen. Well, that wraps up the explanation. Now, let's talk about your little issue. Taoist GU, you claimed that our friend Golden Eagle's face shows signs of massive wealth and prosperity. Well, I'm telling you that you read it completely wrong. Would you believe that? Impossible, even if your analysis makes some sense. Our antique appraisal lineage has rules passed down for a century. They are absolutely foolproof. Not to mention, I'm the heir to a renowned family of antique appraisers in the industry. If Master Ning thinks I'm just gonna roll over and admit defeat, he's dreaming. Impossible, unless you can show me hardcore proof to back it up. Proof? Oh, I've got it. Where? The viewers in the chat were even more impatient than me. Right here, on this Ching Wei token. I stopped mid-sentence and cleared my throat. Our friend Golden Eagle hasn't paid his appraisal fee yet. Oh, right. The chat was absolutely losing it with envy. Now this is what you call a true master. Just 3 sentences, and the VIP dropped a 2 million tip straight into my account. I happily continued. Alright, friend Golden Eagle, this token of yours is an authentic Jade Ching Wei token from the Song Dynasty's Ching Wei sect. This collectible we have today is a massive, top-tier artifact passed down from the Song Dynasty, bearing the plain jade mark of the Southern Song Emperor Zhao Yao. It's got huge credibility in the collector's circle. See? I told you this was a rare, top-notch piece. Anyone into collecting knows the deal. An authentic, heavy-hitting piece with a clear royal jade background like this. Whether you're keeping it for your collection or using it to flex, it's hardcore. In a lot of tricky everyday situations. With this around, absolutely nothing is a problem. Come on, is it really that overpowered? Everyone in the high-end antique business knows this. As long as a buyer values the historical depth of a piece and its collectible value, they'll gladly open their wallets for a rare heirloom like this. Since his earlier appraisal got completely debunked, Gu Chen Wei had lost major face. Now, he was desperate to win back the crowd. Friend Golden Eagle, listen to me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this piece. Your item is a genuine, old-school antique. I can see the patina is rich and beautifully aged, and the shape is absolutely flawless. It's a fantastic, rare find. Buying it was absolutely the right move. The chat wasn't entirely convinced by the deep, hidden tricks of the appraisal trade. Plus, with our friend Wang Duo Yu's collecting experience, what could possibly be wrong with this item? Master Ning, you said there's something wrong with this piece. Surely not, right? Our friend's token is actually pretty solid on its own. It's even supposed to bring blessings and protection. I looked at the comments and smirked. Too bad there's a huge crack on it. It's already taken a hit to block a disaster for someone. It's totally useless now. Unless you get a true master to restore its energy, from here on out, it's just an ordinary piece of jade. Wait, what? The entire chat was stunned. Is jade actually protecting its owner a real thing? Well, I can only say it happens, even if science can't prove it. You know those stories about a silver coin or a pocket watch stopping a bullet during a war? Yeah, it's pretty much the same vibe. That's exactly why I asked our friend Golden Eagle if he recently ran into any life-threatening danger. Especially since he walked away without a scratch. But someone around him took the fall. That kind of stuff? It absolutely happens. Wang Jinying's face suddenly went pale. The day before yesterday, my friend and I were heading out to a bar. But right as we were leaving, my old man dragged me back inside to lecture me. So, I never made it out. My friend ended up taking my car instead. And that very same night, he got into a massive wreck. Car was completely totaled. Wait, what? Wang Jinying felt a sudden chill. Master Ning, do you have any proof? Just look into it and you'll know. Your Wang family has stepped on a lot of toes over the years. There is always someone desperate enough. The Wang family? Master Ning, you know who I am? In this whole world, other than the Langya Wang family, what other Wang family dares to be this arrogant? Wang Jinying's face instantly dropped. He immediately made a call to relay the information. After a long pause, he looked back at me. Master Ning, this time, I truly have to call you a master. I just got the news. That van had hemp rope, gasoline, and a few masks inside. All brand new. Everyone in the livestream room froze. They all thought he was just making a wild guess. No one expected it to be real. I just waved my hand dismissively. Master Ning, Did you figure this out from reading his face, too? Of course not. Just happened to see the news. Anyway, I am done appraising this item. And I even threw in some free information. Treasure friend Jinying, do you have anything else to say? In this appraisal business, you have to pay attention to information. Otherwise you will miss useful things. That is all. Wang Jinying gulped hard, still not fully recovered from the shock. I didn't wait for him and just cut the connection. Next, we are only appraising 3 more items for this session. Right now, the appraisal fee has piled up to 2,110,000. Come on, treasure friends, step it up. The chat room instantly blew up. 2,110,000 times 10 is over 20 million. You could achieve financial freedom in a small town with that. Where is Jinying? Hurry up and step in. He probably doesn't even care about this pocket change, right? User Wang Jinying tipped 100 rockets. User Wang Jinying has left the livestream room. Right as they were discussing him, Wang Jinying had already exited the stream. Before leaving, he dropped another massive tip in the chat. These are to thank Master Ning for the warning. It doesn't count towards the appraisal fee. I will come back to learn from you next time. The chat room clicked their tongues in awe. The thank you fee alone was 1 million. So damn rich. Just as I was thinking that, a new tip suddenly popped up in the stream. Master Ning, there is no limit on the appraisal bounty for this stream, right? Can I join with just $1? Does the 10 times compensation if you are wrong rule still apply? The treasure friends in the chat were completely dumbfounded. Good grief, now this is what you call using small bait to catch a big fish. It is valid, the rule is still 10 times compensation if I am wrong. Treasure friend, have you decided what you want me to look at? My face remained completely expressionless as I nodded. Just take a look at this, Master Ning. I bought this for a hefty price. I was hoping you could give me some insights on it. Everyone's eyes lit up, staring intently at the item on the table. There were only 2 spots left in the queue, and it just cost $1. Gamble a little, turn a bicycle into a motorcycle. On the screen, in the hands of treasure friend Kong Kong, was an impressive deep yellow, antique bronze-colored bracelet. Its fine cracks were filled with gold wire. The patina was incredibly thick and heavy. It clearly wasn't some ordinary object. This patina, this sense of age, deep yellow mountain peak patterns, herringbone cracking, one look and you can tell it was naturally air-dried. It has to be at least 400 years old. Treasure friend, this ivory bracelet is from the Ming dynasty, isn't it? No doubt about it, I've got an ivory piece passed down from the Qing dynasty. The color and grain on yours aren't even half as good. This is definitely a Ming dynasty heirloom. The live chat was buzzing. Collector Kong Kong rotated the piece a full circle for the camera before finally speaking up. Master Ning, what do you think of my ivory bracelet? Are you done looking at it? The bracelet's alright, but you really shouldn't be handling it. Everyone in the chat immediately perked up their ears. If the bracelet's good, why shouldn't he handle it? Well, naturally, I glanced at the comments and nodded. If it were from the Ming dynasty, an ivory bracelet like that would definitely be worth polishing. Unfortunately, the bracelet in our friend's hand isn't from the Ming dynasty. It's from the 5 dynasties period. The 5 dynasties? Isn't that way older? Why shouldn't you handle it? Because it's a sacrificial human bone from the 5 dynasties. Does it feel good rolling it in your hands, my friend? The livestream went dead silent. What did we just hear? A sacrificial human bone from the 5 dynasties? That's not ivory, it's made of human bone? As everyone looked at the bracelet again, all the color drained from their faces. They instinctively pushed their phones further away. The smile on Collector Kong Kong's face vanished instantly. Master, what did you just say? This thing is made of human bone? How is that even possible? Do you know how many human bones I've seen? Oh, wait, no. I mean, do you know how many antiques I've collected? There's no way I wouldn't be able to tell human bone from ivory. I honestly can't believe a word you're saying. Holy crap, how many human bones I've seen? There aren't exactly a lot of places you can just see human bones nowadays. The only people who do are the grave robbers digging underground. The way the livestream looked at Kong Kong completely changed. His hair is dry and has split ends. He looks like he hasn't seen the sun in years. And his face is so pale. Definitely kept in the dark. Plus, there are dirt stains on his clothes. He definitely just crawled out of a tomb. His fingers are way longer than normal people's, too. He's a straight-up grave robber. The live chat was analyzing him like a reading comprehension test. I suddenly chimed in. Now guys, don't talk nonsense. Just look at our friend here. He's clearly not a grave robber. He's a folk archaeology expert. The livestream froze for a second, before everyone realized exactly what kind of expert this folk archaeologist was. They immediately burst out laughing. Isn't that just a fancy word for a grave robber? Guys, you can't just throw accusations around. Grave robbing syndicates do destructive looting. I'm just doing a moderate excavation. I only bring our ancestors' treasures up to the surface so people can appreciate them. What I charge is an archaeological fee. It has absolutely nothing to do with grave robbing. Everyone silently slow clapped for him. Now that was some serious mental gymnastics. He actually managed to spin a pure criminal felony into an act of community service. Alright man, I said. Like I just mentioned, this is a burial artifact made from human remains. Do you all know what human burial figurines are? The chat was still dying to know the story behind this thing. The difference between ivory and human bone is pretty huge, after all. Everyone in the chat nodded, then shook their heads in confusion. Master Ning, didn't the practice of human burial figures die out after the Han Dynasty? Didn't people in history suggest cutting back on them? Important ministers and even emperors pushed for it, sure. But burials with human sacrifices didn't completely disappear until the 70s. Just look at the oracle bone inscriptions. There are tons of records with the characters for human sacrifice. First, experts translated it as manpower. But as they deciphered more of the text, they realized that this human sacrifice was literal. Initially, people thought a record meant employing 50 laborers. Actually, it was a sacrifice of the Grandmaster Sansheng, along with 50 other people offered up together as tributes. The livestream fell dead silent. You could literally hear people gulping in fear. Human lives were treated like dirt. I knew the dark origins of this thing from the very beginning. Not surprised in the least, I carefully examined the bracelet in front of me. It's a human bone bracelet from the later Zhou dynasty, crafted from the bones of 4 human fingers. It bears distinct burn marks, and the inside is filled with gold dust. It's an early form of prayer beads, intricately engraved with the Dharani Sutra. It's made from the remains of a high monk. This is an antique that's been passed down for over 1,000 years. With such a thick, rich patina, it is an incredibly rare heirloom. I was actually a bit stunned just now seeing everyone's discussions. I didn't expect that just casually looking at a string of beads would be hyped up by all of you as some exceedingly rare, legendary heirloom. My friends, there is something seriously wrong with your old beads. But this clearly looks like a genuine antique with a deep patina. How could there be something wrong with it? My friends, it's not the beads themselves that are wrong. It's that you guys are thinking way too simply. This thing isn't just some basic burial artifact. The crowd was bewildered, instinctively feeling a chill of something terribly wrong. They subconsciously shrank back. Have you guys ever heard of the 3 Wu Buddhist persecutions? The viewers were completely clueless. What the heck is that? I've only heard of the 5-3 college prep guides and March 8th Women's Day. What on earth is the 3 Wu Buddhist persecution? Master Ning, are you talking about the 3 Wu and 1 Zong? A viewer majoring in archaeology at Peking University actively chimed in. Spot on. Since someone knew, the rest of the livestream flooded the chat, asking what it meant. The Peking University archaeology student posted their class notes. These are the 4 great Buddhist persecution events our professor taught us about. Emperor Taiwu of Northern Wei, Emperor Wu of Northern Zhou, and Emperor Wuzong of Tang. Exactly, plus Emperor Shizong of later Zhou. Together, because of their imperial titles, they're known as the 3 Wu and 1 Zong. Wait, could this human bone bracelet be related to those persecutions? Of course. You see, when Buddhism was at its absolute peak, there weren't that many strict rules and commandments. Buddhism in Sha absorbed Confucian and Taoist philosophies. A lot of those strict rules were actually added much later. For example, strict vegetarianism was mandated by Emperor Wu of Liang. And leaving incense burn scars on the head was a practice started by the monk Jide in the Yuan dynasty. Look, where there are supporters, there will always be haters. When the emperors loved it, it was revered as the state religion. When they hated it, it was naturally and brutally suppressed. These great persecutions happened exactly when Buddhism fell out of imperial favor. And this very bracelet was created during the brutal Buddhist persecution led by Emperor Shizong of later Zhou, Chai Rong. The livestream went completely blank in shock. If they were wiping out Buddhism entirely, how on earth did a Buddhist bracelet survive? Master Ning, Don't tell me this is a Buddha bone bracelet? Someone suddenly connected the terrifying dots. When those words popped up on screen, the entire chat froze. Buddha bones are the sacred remains left behind after a high monk reaches enlightenment and passes away. Monks with profound merit form sacred relics after cremation, known as Buddha bone relics, right? And some pass away in deep meditation, forming incorruptible golden arhats. Bodies that never decay or rot, known as the golden bodies of Buddha bones. Exactly, I nodded slowly. This bracelet is made exactly from those sacred Buddha finger bones, and they all share one terrifying trait. They were all subjected to intense, tortuous burning. That's why you see these black stress fractures in the bone, and they were later filled in with gold dust, to symbolize the golden Buddha. Everyone was completely dumbfounded. Holy crap, it's a perfectly sacred Buddha bone bracelet. Why on earth would anyone burn it? Who said they were burned after being made into a bracelet? Of course not. The viewers were all stunned. Wait, they weren't? If an inanimate object was burned, the patterns wouldn't be this delicate. And it wouldn't be this uniform from bottom to top. Judging from this pattern, it must have been burned first, and then crafted into the antique artifact. Everyone gulped, silently processing this. Master Ning, do you mean that when this person was alive, it was burned down little by little? Exactly. The chat room was filled with criticism. You guys misunderstood. This wasn't forced by Emperor Shizong of Zhou. These high monks did it voluntarily. How could they voluntarily burn their own fingers? Isn't it better to just live a good life? The chat went completely silent. The viewer who explained the Buddha bone earlier reappeared. I'm afraid it really was voluntary. There's a record in the Buddhist sutras. Even though I offer to the Buddha with divine power, it is not as good as offering my own body. This is a verse from the Lotus Sutra, in the chapter of the Medicine King Bodhisattva. Besides translating texts, there were practices like drawing blood to copy sutras, flaying skin to write sutras, and sacrificing one's head for charity. The most famous ones adopted this method only after receiving enlightenment from the Buddha. But later, because it was too cruel, it was questioned for being inconsistent with the Dharma, and was therefore removed from the Buddhist sutras. Who are you, my friend? How are you so familiar with Buddhism? Wait, hasn't my display name updated? Everyone clicked on his profile. A PhD from the Sha Buddhist. What? This poor monk is a PhD from the Sha Buddhist Academy. And these just so happen to be my professional research focus. The live stream was instantly dumbfounded. This is insane. Just looking at a bracelet actually drew out a PhD from a Buddhist academy. I didn't really mind. I nodded. Your basic knowledge is pretty solid. The chat room collectively gasped. If he's at this level, and his basics are only pretty solid, then what on earth is considered good? I didn't reply, just looked at the screen, and spoke calmly. My friend, this bracelet is an item made from burning fingers as an offering to Buddha. Ordinary people simply can't handle wearing it. Without me having to emphasize it further, once the viewer learned the special origin of this string of ancient beads, he immediately shoved the item far away. And after clearly hearing the heritage behind this object, and the old taboos spoken of in our line of work, he panicked even more, bowing repeatedly, and apologizing profusely. I'll put this thing away properly right now. I'll store it safely. You're a generous man, so please just let an amateur like me off the hook, okay? The viewers in the stream were all twitching their mouths as they watched, finding it both funny and helpless. I was amused. Ha ha ha, my friend, who's going to hear you if you pray like that? Don't you have to go back and kneel in front of the coffin to truly express your remorse? Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for the reminder, Master Ning. I'm going right now. The viewer, Kong Kong, immediately went offline. Before anyone could finish sighing, the screen lit up again. We received a tip that someone was showing off grave robbed items in your stream. We just rushed over and caught the suspect walking out the door. That saved us some trouble. We're on official duty this time, so we'll cut the chatter. We'll come back to thank you next time. Take him away. Did you see that, folks? There are real risks in entering this trade. If you want to do archaeology, I highly recommend joining the official archaeological teams. The entire live stream burst into loud laughter. Just as we were talking, someone else managed to connect to the stream. Host, I have 2 items here I'd like you to take a look at. $50 for 1 appraisal. I just tipped you enough for 2. You'd better take a damn good look. The chat is already cracking up. Ha ha ha, you'd better think this through, buddy. Last time someone called in, things got completely out of hand, and you're actually paying for this? Calling in is a huge risk. But hey, what do I have to be scared of? My stuff is legit, passed down through generations. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Streamer, just give it to me straight. Do you have the guts to appraise my items? Sure thing. Bring them out. I'll wrap up the stream right after I check these two. The caller didn't waste a single second and slapped both items right in front of the camera. Just these two. Take a good look. If you can actually tell me what these are, I'll admit you've got skills. But if you can't, I'll gladly take that 10 times your money back guarantee. The whole chat stared at the stuff on the table, completely clueless. One was a bird-shaped bronze ornament. The other was a shot glass covered in spikes. They looked incredibly ancient, but nobody had ever seen anything like them. I took one glance, and my face contorted into a weird expression. Holding back my laughter, I asked, "Buddy, where exactly did you get these?" Looks like the streamer is stumped. How about I just tell you what they are? I'll just keep this tip as your tuition fee. The guy, going by the name Bird Walker, instantly burst into smug laughter. The chat couldn't help but roast him. Never seen anyone this thick-skinned before. I chuckled right along with them. Buddy, you seem like a veteran in this game. Did you forget the rules? Rules? What damn rules? Just like Chinese medicine has its 4 golden rules of diagnosis, our antique trade has its own set of appraisal rules. 3 of them rely on the appraiser's sharp eyes. But appraising an item also requires the owner to tell the honest truth. It ensures that my stream is legit and guaranteed, both for me and the antiques. If your lies make it impossible to appraise the item, you'll have to deal with the consequences yourself. You need to be crystal clear on that. Oh, come on, as if. My family are native old-school Beijingers. The history of these items is rock solid. My ancestors were filthy rich. Birdwalker thumped his chest loudly. If he hadn't immediately started hacking up a lung, the chat might have actually believed him. I didn't hold back. Buddy, looks like your ancestors can't handle being name-dropped. Everyone cheered. That roast is absolutely savage. The worst part was, he couldn't even argue back. Catching his breath, he wheezed. Since we're talking about rules, I'll tell you what the rules are. Listen closely. Both of these were passed down straight from my ancestors. My ancestor was a Green Standard Army gatekeeper. Don't you dare look down on that rank. You folks know the old capital saying, 9 inside, 7 outside, 4 for the imperial city. That's the 20 gates of the capital. The imperial city has the 4 gates of heavenly peace, earthly peace, eastern peace, and western peace. The outer city has 7 gates, and the inner city has 9 gates. My ancestor was the gate guard of Guang'an Gate, proper 7th rank official. 100 years ago, all of you peasants would be kowtowing to me. God, the cringe is real. The Qing dynasty has been dead for 100 years, and there's still some washed-up royal wannabe trying to flex? The chat started spitting out a colorful array of insults. The stream mod was even more blunt. I'm just gonna go restart my computer. With the mod out of the room, the viewers went absolutely wild. Buddy, your bragging is flying straight to the moon. Why are you guys hyping him up? Hey, what's that supposed to mean? I finally had to step in and tell the chat to hold on a second. The viewers haven't caught on yet. Seeing this, the streamer couldn't help but laugh out loud. This ridiculous city guard rank. Even fantasy writers wouldn't dare make this up. This is a position only pure-blooded 8 banners descendants could hold. The Green Standard Army was a Han Chinese force. They'd have a hard time being ordinary guards, let alone a rank 7 gatekeeper. This guy claiming his ancestor was a Green Standard Army gatekeeper was either plotting a rebellion or asking for his whole family to be executed. The viewers finally got it, laughing hard as they watched the video. Bro, your ancestor was wild. Master Ning really knows his stuff, huh? Man, that story about your ancestor sounds super fishy. The chat exploded, teasing him for messing with the wrong guy. The bird-walking dude, rolling his walnuts so hard they loudly clicked together. Streamer, let's skip the ancestor talk for now. Maybe I just remembered it wrong. But if you can't figure out what this thing is today, I am not letting this go. I just glanced over. Bro, take it easy on those hands. Those are 20-year-old lion head walnuts. It'd be a real shame if they broke. Before I could even finish my sentence. Crack. The agate red walnut he had polished for years was crushed to pieces in his grip, exposing the dry inside. Look what you made me do. Bro, that has nothing to do with me. I was just trying to be nice and warn you. Now it's ruined. Whatever, let's just talk about these 2 items first. Oh, by the way, whatever you do, do not eat the walnut meat. I don't know if door-crushed walnuts give you calcium, but walnuts covered in 20 years of hand sweat are definitely toxic. The viewers burst into laughter again. For these weirdos still clinging to the Qing dynasty, straight up mocking them is the way to go. The bird-walking dude's eyes were shooting daggers, but he was completely speechless. Logically, I wasn't wrong at all. Streamer, enough of this nonsense. Can you tell me where this thing comes from or not? Like I said, if you can't figure it out, I'm taking the money and leaving. Oh, you are definitely not taking that money. It's a fake Sangxingdui bronze standing bird ritual statue. Cast and artificially aged exactly 80 years ago. The shape and era are completely off. Buddy, you really said this was passed down from your ancestors? Did they tell you it was some ancient ritual artifact? Ha, I guess you do know your stuff. My ancestors said it was a Shang dynasty ritual vessel. It's called Li Huan, modeled after an ancient phoenix. Have you ever heard of Sangxingdui? It's the incarnation of the sun god bird. The government even did a special feature on it recently. Sangxingdui artifacts date back over 4,800 years. It is the very root of Xia culture. Over at Sangxingdui, this thing is called the bronze divine bird. If my ancestor hadn't been a gatekeeper, if we didn't have the right connections, this thing would have been lost a long time ago. Sounds pretty convincing. Everyone in the stream looked at me, begging to know if it was real or fake. Honestly, if I didn't know the truth, I almost would have believed it myself. The viewers finally caught on. Wait, so it's as fake as it gets, isn't it? Even if his ancestor really was a gatekeeper, the city gates don't even exist anymore. Where is he supposed to guard? Anyway, let's forget the material for a second. Real Sangxingdui bronze birds have feathered crests and supported tails. They were cast from solid bronze blocks and then attached. The head, neck, and chest are covered in fish scale patterns, along with detailed feathers and swirling clouds. The details are incredibly intricate. The patterns on the authentic ones were cast stroke by stroke. But as for this guy's bronze bird, honestly, it wouldn't even look out of place in a game of Angry Birds. Ha ha ha, I wouldn't have even noticed if Master Ning hadn't pointed it out. It literally looks exactly the same. Wow, it really is. I was wondering how they could look exactly the same. It's basically a copy-paste job. I'm afraid this isn't from the Shang and Zhou dynasties, more like from last week. Alright, quiet down, everyone. Looking alike isn't a big deal. Ancient and modern aesthetics do share some common ground. The biggest issue with this piece, though, is the casting technique. Shang dynasty bronzes were made using piece mold and lost wax casting methods, which always leave marks behind. These marks are the ID cards of genuine pieces. Because ancient processing precision and bronze alloy ratios were different, they naturally left traces. You can see these marks on any excavated ancient bronze artifact. They are the ultimate proof of ancient craftsmanship. But on this specific item, I can't find a single polishing or joint mark. Instead, it's covered in this modern, artificially aged patina. Especially this base support right here. It looks exactly like a Qing dynasty silver ingot. After being flattened out, they definitely didn't have this shape back in the Shang and Zhou eras. So, the verdict is pretty obvious. This is a textbook modern fake. My friends, if you ever go to the Panjiayuan antique market and see something like this, keep this in mind. 9 times out of 10, it's a knockoff. Even if you haggle it down to $30, the boss is probably still making a $25 profit while pretending to cry. Haha, crying while making 25, that's hilarious. Ha ha ha, those tears are from laughing too hard. Haggling from 30 down to 5. And the boss still says, deal. The chat was absolutely dying of laughter. Birdwalker's face darkened a few shades. He angrily snatched the bronze bird back. Then what about this one? Let's hear it. Now, this one is actually pretty interesting. Grayish-green base, about 3 inches tall, definitely gives off a Mai's porcelain vibe. But all these spikes covering it are quite rare. It looks a lot like Tang Dynasty Mai's ware. Those protruding spikes on the outside are really baffling. If it's a wine cup, the spikes are totally useless. It can't be a wine cup, right? But anything else would be a waste of this shape. The viewers started joking around in the chat. This cup is a no-go, man. It's gonna stab your mouth when you drink. How did a perfectly good wine cup turn into a prickly pear? Someone even made a meme of a prickly pear taking a shot. He got called out for being rude. Goodness, these guys in the chat are wilder than I am. I couldn't hold back my laughter. My friend, this piece is exactly like that bronze bird you just showed. It's completely sketchy. It's just another modern fake. Bird Walker was furious. Streamer, if you don't know what it is, stop talking trash. This is called a carnivorous silk dough. It's documented in the Book of Rites and the Guoyu. In the early days, the dough was on the exact same level as the Deng and the Gu. There's even a saying that no ritual is complete without a dough. This is a variant of the Western Zhou bronze dough. It evolved straight out of the Yin-Shang culture. It was used as a sacrificial vessel for prisoners. That's why it has spikes all around it, to represent the punishment of piercing. He flipped it over to show the bottom. See this? Authentic diamond grid and line patterns. You only see this on the most ancient ceramics. HMPH. I even had it appraised by an expert. Smack. He slammed a certificate right on the camera. Certified by the Shah National Cultural Relics Protection and Trading Center. A genuine Shang Dynasty Celadon dough. Appraised as 100% real. The chat's eyes collectively lit up. Whoa, an official certification from that agency? It couldn't possibly be fake, right? Real or fake? The moment I saw it, I doubled over laughing. No way, man, you actually believed this piece of paper? Does this thing have problems too? But it has a certificate. Could it really be? The chat started sensing that something was way off. More than just a problem, guys. Is your brain completely fried, man? Were you on one of those antique appraisal shows back then? They told you it was real, and you asked for a certificate? They said no, and then actively recommended a place for you to go? How did you know? I had this appraised 10 years ago. The guy even said this is the only one of its kind in the whole capital. They'd never seen anything like it. He told me to hide it well and not just show it to anyone. If I didn't think you actually knew your stuff, I would have kept it hidden. The whole chat was totally dumbfounded. How do you know all this? I just waved my hand dismissively. Listen, guys, it's not that I've got some god-tier vision. It's just that this agency is way too notorious. Just look it up yourselves and you'll see. The whole chat cracked up. Try searching for the Shah Kingdom Relic Protection and Trading Center. Out of the top 10 search results, 7 are related to fraud. And the remaining 3 are pages about them getting sued and going bankrupt. Bro, you were hoping to score a massive steal, but they were the ones stealing from you. Back then, the antique market was super shady. It was full of these fantasy fakes. A lot of amateurs learned just enough to get cocky, hoping to strike it rich. Only to walk right in like lambs to the slaughter. This piece right here is a textbook example of a 10-year-old scam. That Washaw Relic Appraisal Center was nothing but a shell company. They specialized in writing fake certificates. One single appraisal cost $5,000. You basically just let them fleece you alive. No way. This was passed down from my ancestors. Seeing he still wouldn't give up, I let out a heavy sigh. Look, man. Since you're so stubborn, let me spell it out for you. There are just way too many things wrong with this piece. Ha 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 ha. I gestured at the screen, and the chat burst out laughing. Back in those days, the only people eating meat were royalty or nobles. Using something the size of a fingertip to hold meat? That's just insulting to their status. And besides, that face tattooing punishment you mentioned, it really did exist in ancient times. It was called the Mo or Qing punishment. It was one of the 5 punishments in the slave society, even recorded in oracle bone scripts. But you said this was used for sacrificing to slaves? In the entire 5,000-year history of the Shah Kingdom, there isn't a single word about offering sacrifices to slaves. Using them as the sacrifice, maybe. Slaves were the offerings, they weren't the ones being worshipped. The prototype for your piece here is actually a Longchen Celadon wine cup. They deliberately mixed in other materials during firing, which is what gave it that honey-colored glaze. And those porcelain studs on the outside? Pure fantasy. They make absolutely zero sense. They used traditional aging techniques on it, which is how you ended up with this weird mashup of a fake. It's got some age to it, but nowhere near as old as you claim. I'd say it's about 60 years old, tops. HMPH, just hold on to it. By the time your great-grandkids are around, maybe it'll actually count as an antique. Well, we're done looking at this piece, so I won't keep you guys any longer. Catch you all tomorrow. With that, I ended the video call and began examining the curse on my own body. I locked the shop doors, making sure no one would interrupt me. Looking down, I inspected myself. This Tomb Raider's curse, it was honestly a bit bizarre. I didn't have time to look closely during the stream, but now, checking both of my arms, all those fine, dark vein patterns were completely gone. I couldn't see a single trace of anything wrong. The system didn't give me any prompts either. Does it only show up when I ring the bell? I stared at the spirit summoning bell on my desk, staying dead silent for a few seconds. Forget it. I've been given a second chance at life. I even have a system now. Like hell I'm gonna let some curse kill me. I grabbed the bell and gave it a light shake, without chanting any spells. My vision began to blur. Faint black patterns slowly surfaced on my arm. They were fainter than before, and spreading much slower too. Just as I thought, it doesn't need an incantation to trigger. I glanced down. The details of the curse flooded my mind. The Tomb Raider's curse, originating from the Three Kingdoms era. A bloodline curse triggered by dark energy. It hurts like needles piercing the skin. Bone-chillingly cold, and once the spiritual energy is triggered, it will slowly fade on the night of every full moon. Wait, is this really the legendary 1,000-year curse? Is that all it can do? Man, that's completely pathetic. Just as I was thinking that, urgent knocking came from the back door. Hey, why'd you close up so early? Hurry up and open the door. It's an emergency. I froze for a second. That sounded like my second uncle, Ning Wenbin. That's weird. He usually only comes back for the new year. It's barely the beginning of autumn right now. Why is he back so suddenly? I opened the door and took a look. Standing outside was a man who looked quite a bit like me. His faded army green jacket had frayed edges. His jeans and work boots were covered in scuffs and mud. One look, and you could tell he'd been roughing it in the mountains for the better part of a year. I let him inside. Ever since my parents passed away, second uncle has been my closest relative. Every now and then, he'd have someone drop off little trinkets to help stock up my store shelves. He never took a dime from whatever I sold. Over the years, that's easily added up to a few $100,000. Not just anyone would do that for you. Look, let's skip the small talk. I just need to borrow your place for a bit. Ning Wenbin squeezed his way inside, revealing a massive black duffel bag on his back. It was completely stuffed. He didn't even try to hide it from me. He unzipped it, revealing a whole pile of antique artifacts. I just took one glance, and I was absolutely blown away. A square porcelain vase with poetry and floral patterns from the Qing dynasty. An imperial kiln masterpiece in mint condition. A bronze incense burner mimicking the Xuan style, complete with tripod legs. The broken gold flakes on it could actually form a map. A Yixing clay teapot from the Yongjung era, crafted by the legendary master Xu Longwen himself, totally intact. Just scanning through the bag, there were over a dozen rare artifacts from the late Ming and early Qing dynasties. Uncle, did you literally just rob a Qing dynasty tomb? What the hell are you talking about? Would your uncle really do something like that? These are just items I stumbled upon while working. Just brought them back to study. I pursed my lips. Other people might not know, but given our family's history, let's just say we've had a shady background for decades. Couple that with those little trinkets he sends over. It couldn't be more obvious what his real job is. Suddenly, a red and yellow stone slipped right out of his bag. It smashed a dent right into the floorboards. I took a casual glance, and completely froze. Seeing me staring blankly, Ning Wenbin thought I was upset about the floor. He burst out laughing. Ha, look at you, being all petty over a floorboard. Once your uncle finishes this gig, I'll pay to have your whole place renovated. A raw Balin bloodstone, I mumbled, and it holds a transparent, 3-color core inside. This is a top-tier Balin stone. Ning Wenbin's reaction was even more dramatic than mine. What, Xiao Fan, are you absolutely sure? He snatched the stone off the ground and stared at it intently. What's there to doubt? I smirked, giving him another once-over. Uncle, why are you still acting dumb in front of me? Just look at what you're wearing. You purposely changed into hiking boots just to play the part of a rugged mountain man, didn't you? But you didn't even clean the grass seeds out of your bag. And this stone, it's a specialty from the Barin Right banner. Both the aunt and daughter of Emperor Kangxi are buried over there. So, exactly which tomb did you raid? Well, I'll be. Not bad, kid. Ning Wenhao tossed the stone aside, staring at me intently. He clicked his tongue. Who taught you that? I figured it out myself. I pointed at the rare ancient books on the shelf. Whenever the shop is empty, I just read. I've finished all of them. You read them and just understood? Ning Wenbin looked incredibly suspicious. He had read those exact same books. And if you asked him, becoming a master appraiser just from reading, he just wasn't buying it. He looked back down at the stone in his hand, feeling completely baffled. This was just some random rock he'd grabbed to weigh down his bag. How could it accidentally be a Bahrain chicken bloodstone? He figured his nephew was probably just taking a wild guess. With that in mind, he challenged me, "Do you recognize these?" A Shunji-era square vase with intertwined floral patterns, and a Shunji replica of a Schwand incense burner, plus an ink pot featuring the three friends of winter, crafted by Shu Longwen. Not bad at all. They're all either official kiln pieces or official replicas. Though, the last one isn't quite as old, but at least the craftsman was famous. Ning Wenbin just froze. Good heavens, his nephew really was something. It had taken them over 10 minutes, just to figure out its origin back then. And how long did the kid even look at it? The bag hadn't even been open for a minute. He didn't even touch the items, and he still nailed it. That thought, something suddenly dawned on him. He violently grabbed both of my hands. Seeing my arms completely bare and clean, he finally breathed a sigh of relief. Seeing his reaction, I knew my second uncle was definitely hiding something. So, I grabbed the bell again and gave it a shake. As the bell rang, dark, ominous patterns began surfacing on my wrist once more. My uncle's face turned pale with sheer terror. "Uncle, were you looking for this?" The moment I stopped ringing the bell, the dark patterns completely vanished again. "Xiao Fan, this is..." Before he could finish, I cut him off. "This is why you guys never wanted me in this line of work, isn't it? The Tomb Raider's curse. Seeing death brings life. Striking at the full moon. A sudden death, broken only by the 5 treasures. Am I right?" A flash of shock crossed my uncle's eyes, quickly followed by a heavy silence. The Tomb Raider's curse was a bloodline affliction passed down through the Ning family. It would only awaken when triggered by very specific, ancient artifacts. Generations ago, the Ning family patriarch actually used this power to rise to the rank of deputy general among the elite Tomb Raiders. He amassed a massive fortune, then retired to his hometown. Later, he secretly dedicated himself to studying the curse. He discovered it likely traced back to the ancient divine treasure lineage. It granted an intense connection to mystical artifacts, giving us a natural, hypersensitivity to rare, priceless treasures. But it also meant an early grave. The ancient texts claimed it could only be broken by gathering 5 legendary treasures. The Ning family searched for generations, but found absolutely nothing. Their only choice left was to forbid their descendants from ever raiding tombs again. Anything to prevent the curse from waking up. By the time it reached my uncle's generation, there were 5 siblings. They worked as everything from pawnshop brokers to antique appraisers, each forging their own path. My dad was a pawnshop broker. After my parents passed away, the family wanted me completely out of the business forever. That's why they set me up with this quiet little shop. But despite everything, it still woke up. Second uncle wanted to say something, but he just ended up asking, "You alright? Just drop it, uncle. We can figure this out later. Why did you come back so suddenly?" Seeing me change the subject, he didn't press the issue. He vaguely explained his whereabouts over the last 6 months. These things were actually meant for the museum, but my colleagues know our family's expertise, so they insisted I bring them home to see if there's any hidden secret. I was going to just drop them off, but who knew we'd actually find some real treasures. Balin Bloodstone. But Xiao Fan, are you absolutely sure? Appraising bloodstone is just like jade. One cut can make you broke, and another can make you filthy rich. Or even leave you wearing rags. I casually drew a cutting line right on the stone, right where the yellow, red, and white colors met. Uncle's face completely changed. I just sensed it. Wait, uncle, you don't have this ability? Nonsense. Do you think the Ning family bloodline is as common as dirt? Counting down from our ancestors, only a dozen or so people have ever had it. But if you sensed it, we're good. I'll get someone to cut it open later. Don't breathe a word of this to anyone. I nodded, glancing at the other items inside the bag. If you guys came up empty-handed, try piecing together the gold flakes on that Schwann sensor. Uncle froze for a second, then practically threw himself at the table in pure ecstasy to inspect the sensor. Then he immediately grabbed his phone and started shouting into a call. "Mr. Chen, huge discovery. We've got something. We actually found something. It's a piece of the new map. I never expected it to be hidden right here. Oh, and Mr. Chen, I found something else too. Looks like I brought back a top-grade Balin stone. Alright, I'm heading back right now." He hung up the phone and reached out to ruffle my hair. But realizing I was just as tall as him, he patted my shoulder instead. "Good job, kid. When I get back, I'm taking you out for a massive feast." "Ha ha ha, come on, uncle. Don't jinx it like that, it's bad luck. His half-extended hand just froze right in midair. He took a deep breath. He's my own nephew, let it slide. I know you're all grown up now. I'm taking off, call me if anything comes up. Standing by the window, I watched Uncle vanish into an unmarked car with no license plates. I frowned deeply. My identity in this transmigrated life seemed way more complicated than I originally thought. The gold pattern on that Schwann sensor, I had memorized it with a single glance. It completely mapped out the northeast border. Combined with that Balin bloodstone, he must be heading out to find a dragon vein. The Xia nation has a 5,000-year history, and every dynasty has legends about these dragon veins. The most ancient feng shui texts record that when Yu the Great forged the 9 tripods, it was to seal away 9 dragons, extracting their power from all over to nourish the land. Here in Xia nation, the most famous legend is the dragon trapped right beneath the North New Bridge in the capital. But no one has actually seen it. It's just chasing shadows and rumors. Then again, who knows? I mean, I literally have a system, so anything's possible. I pulled my gaze back and stared right at the bell resting on the desk. With my parents gone, and now Uncle taking off like this, he probably won't be back until the new year. I really need to make some time to go visit my 3 aunts. I wrapped up the soul summoning bell and locked it in the safe. After thinking it over, I swapped it for a cotton cloth wrap instead, and put it in a thermostat box, just in case it started ringing inside the safe. That would be a real nightmare. I just froze for a second. Talk about perfect timing. I was just stressing over how to find clues for the 5 treasures, and the system dropped a quest right in my lap. I checked the time, it was only a little past 9 o'clock. Plenty of time. I packed up my gear, closed up the shop, and headed out. I turned on my stream and changed the title to Night Prowl at the Ghost Market, Hunting for Hidden Gems. Cowards keep out. My daytime stream had already built up some solid hype. Thousands of people flooded in the second I went live. The system showed my popularity progress at 3,742. Still a long way to go. I closed the panel and kept walking while looking at the chat. Seeing the streetlights and alleys rolling by behind me on camera, the chat was just spamming question marks. I got totally hyped up for this, and this is what you show me? Streamer, this doesn't look like you're going to a ghost market. It looks like you're going to meet actual ghosts. What do I do? I'm kinda scared now. Do ghosts use hell money to pay for things? Is there inflation down there? Hurry up, streamer, I've got guts. I'm not scared of ghosts. Skip straight to the ghost wedding. Newbie here, what exactly do people do at a ghost market? The chat was going absolutely crazy. I ignored the trolls, but I definitely had to explain things to the ones asking real questions. Listen up, guys, you've never heard of a ghost market? What about Big Willow Tree? Panjiayuan, Chaoyang Gate, the base of the Imperial City? With every name I dropped, the chat got even more confused. Aren't those just normal places? You guys really don't know enough, huh? I clicked my tongue. These used to be the most famous ghost market locations around. There are barely any left kicking today. Years ago, there were 4 cities and 8 ghost markets, with 3 places the living were told to absolutely avoid. That refers to Kaishaku, and the north of the Meridian Gate at Kaishaku. The older folks were always superstitious about dark energy. Whenever they walked past those spots, they'd complain the murderous aura was way too heavy. Haven't you seen it on TV? They were either dragging people out the Meridian Gate to behead them, or executing them at the Kaishaku execution grounds. Walking around there, you might just have a lot of invisible eyes watching you. Anyway, let's change the subject. Someone quickly asked, so what exactly is a ghost market? A ghost market is where people used to sell things they couldn't exactly show off in broad daylight. The people who went there were mostly street thugs and hustlers. You wouldn't catch many decent folks there. And trading at the ghost market had no rules except one: money and goods clear. Once it leaves your hands, it's done. No refunds, no responsibility. Buying and selling was all about Step 1, walk in. Step 2, take a look. Step 3, pay in cold hard cash. They had their own set of underground slang, and strictly followed the old saying, open when the sky goes dark, and vanish when the sun comes up. That's why they called it a ghost market. Back in the day, they sold absolutely everything. Black market goods, stolen loot, famous relics. You'd see people from all walks of life. Over the last 100 years or so, a lot of broke aristocrats who used to be rich wanted to make a quick buck. but they were too proud to go to a public auction. So, one thing led to another. And merchants caught on too. They started bringing stuff they couldn't display in their regular shops to try their luck. And that is how the ghost market came to be. Today, we're talking about the most bustling one left, the base of the imperial city. I stopped in my tracks. Alright guys, we are here. The stream showed a massive white marble archway, with an old wooden plaque hanging at the very top. Carved into it with bold, sharp strokes were 4 massive words, number 1 in the world. And right below, bright red lanterns hung high in the air. Reflecting a bright red color like dripping blood, 2 long lines have already formed inside the archway. The dark silhouettes and stalls stretch on for hundreds of meters. Every stall has an oil lamp or a miner's flashlight. All the lights are just a single flickering speck in the dark, lighting up just a tiny patch right in front of each stall. Marking out their own little territories, bobbing up and down, swaying back and forth, just like countless ghost fires floating through the street. It's incredibly creepy. 11 o'clock. The hour of the rat has finally arrived. The piercing wail of a suona suddenly echoes through the air, so mournful. That sharp suona melody trails behind a snow-white fox, stepping right out of the noise and screeching at the top of its lungs. The ghost gates are open. Bring in the treasures and cut 'em open. Countless figures come pouring out from the darkness outside the archway, rustling about, scurrying right through the archway like a pack of rats. The white fox turns around, and everyone finally realizes, it's actually a woman. She's wearing a full fox fur coat, from head to tail, looking exactly like a living white fox. Countless specks of light suddenly flick on down the ghost market street. Everyone's gripping a little flashlight, sweeping their beams across the stalls, and if they aren't interested, they snap them off in a flash. Moving on to the next one. The whole ghost market alley just came completely alive. Countless eyes blinking open and shut, peering right into people's souls through the wail of the suona. Full of selfish desires, wicked thoughts, and pure greed, the woman suddenly stops right in her tracks, and locks her eyes on me. A slight smirk curls on her lips. Holy crap, this is getting so lit. This is freaking mind-blowing. I'm genuinely terrified this time. This is way too creepy. Master Ning, is there gonna be a jump scare warning later on? Yeah, I'll let you guys know when we're waiting through later. A whole row of thank you emojis sweeps across the chat. A scene like this. These treasure-hunting viewers who only wander the regular day and night markets. They've truly never seen anything like this. Suddenly, a message pops up in the livestream. Ban Liang Jin tipped 11 rockets. And here I thought he was just chasing clout. I didn't expect to hear the phrase, waiting the ghost market. Turns out, the streamer really knows his stuff. Holy crap, even Ban Liang Jin is here. Ban Liang Jin is the #1 fortune teller on the Kunlun livestream platform. Who the heck is that? Are they super famous? You seriously don't know her? She's the absolute best fortune teller on the Kunlun livestream platform. Her name is literally her consultation fee. It's the core rule of her master's lineage. No matter who goes to her for a reading, they absolutely have to pay half an ounce of gold as a reward. Oh my god, the whole livestream chat was completely stunned. Half an ounce of gold converts to at least 10,000 bucks. That is way more expensive than those $50 street fortune tellers. She wouldn't dare charge that much if she didn't have real skills, right? But most of the viewers were focused on something else. Master Ning's earlier comment about the white fox, and this Ban Liang Jin person. They both said waiting the ghost market. Is there some secret meaning behind the word waiting? Of course there is. Waiting is the old way people talked about crossing a river. Whether the water is deep or shallow, you have to feel the stones and cross it yourself. Waiting the ghost market basically means that buying things in the ghost market is exactly like crossing a river. You have to figure out what's real and what's fake all on your own. Whether you score big or take a huge loss, you better be mentally prepared. Hearing him explain the word, waiting, I just knew Master Ning was a real expert. Right after saying that, a live call request suddenly popped up on screen. I found it a bit weird, so I just hung up straight away. It's past my business hours. No appraisals right now. I'm not asking for an appraisal, Master Ning. I actually have something important to tell you. Several connection requests popped up one after another. The viewers in the chat who know Half-Tail Gold were absolutely stunned. Talk about prestige, this is the first time she's ever sent a co-stream invite herself. The live chat was just going crazy. I finally accepted the call. An incredibly cute cartoon avatar popped up on the screen, totally stealing the spotlight. It was a sweet girl with shoulder-length hair, blinking her huge eyes. In her hand, she was tossing 3 golden coins. She casually tossed them up and caught them. Western Joe, King Wen divination coins. Crafted from pure gold, with 4 symbols carved on both the front and the back. The divination symbols are direct heirlooms from King Wen's Ji family bloodline. Originally, there were 6 of these coins. They perfectly align with the 6 lines of a hexagram. But right now, only 3 are known to exist in the entire world. Seeing them with my own eyes, I couldn't help but hold my breath. Such legendary ancient relics of King Wen, and only 3 left. In the entire lineage of I Ching divination, these are considered absolute, foundational treasures. King Wen of Zhou combined the primordial 8 trigrams with the ancient texts of Lianshan and Guiqing to formulate the manifested 8 trigrams, eventually deducing the 64 hexagrams. Later generations compiled the Book of Changes from this very foundation. That's how all modern divination came to be. After a brief pause, I just came right out and said it. I've changed my mind. I want my fortune read right now. The viewers had no idea what was really going on. They all burst out laughing and started teasing me. Master Ning changed his mind real quick. Hey, can that camera angle go a bit lower? Oh please, it's not the camera angle that's the problem, it's your dirty mind. Hello, I'm Half-Tail Gold. The chat was absolutely exploding. Neither of us paid any attention to the chat. We just locked eyes through the screen. King Wen divination coins. That is some seriously good stuff. She originally wanted to test me on this, but then thought it would be too showy. She was just about to put them away, and definitely didn't expect me to recognize them at first glance. She frantically made a shush gesture, begging me to stop talking. Otherwise, her door would be completely knocked down by eager collectors. I let out a soft chuckle, and waited for her to speak. Your forehead is shadowed with bad luck. Your eyes are slightly bruised. And you've got a sharp crease right between your brows. Tonight, I can't say any more than that. Half-Tail Gold abruptly finished her sentence. Looking like it physically hurt her, she untied a large bead from her wrist bracelet, and dropped it straight into her coin box. She thought about it for a second, then quickly fished out 2 smaller beads, muttering to herself. I only did half a reading, didn't tell the whole thing. And I didn't say exactly who it was about, so I can't charge money for it. So annoying, I didn't even get paid. Now I'm down 1 reading for the month, and I had to cough up my own money too. What a massive loss. I watched her with pure amusement. Without hesitating, I sent her a premium tip. A virtual rocket flashed across the screen. You meant a risk of jail time, right? I get it, that's to cover the cost of your bracelet bead. The chat was completely baffled. Wait, what the hell does that mean? Suddenly, Dr. Sha Fo popped up in the chat. Amitabha, based on this humble monk's observation, it seems a fortune was read, yet not fully read, and the payment followed the exact same rule. It was given, yet not given. Someone replied, Master, based on my observation. You just spoke, yet said absolutely nothing. HMPH, what do you know? This is the essence of Zen. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. Basically, it means the truth is the truth, whether you say it out loud or keep your mouth shut. Get it now? That is a masterclass explanation right there. Dr. Sha Fo sent another message, totally brushing off the joke. Patrons, you've misunderstood. This humble monk meant Half-Tail Gold. The patron only shared half of the fortune, and never actually interpreted the hexagram. It was only half a reading. Master Ning just figured out the rest of the hexagram entirely on his own. I paid the divination fee, even though a full reading wasn't done in the end. That's why we call it bracelet money. The chat room found this pretty amusing. Let me explain a bit more. Viewers, do not underestimate Half-Tail Gold. This is the authentic divination passed down from King Wen. It's way more accurate than the rest. Even the later Plum Blossom and 6 Yao methods were all derived from the texts of his lineage. I paid the bracelet money, because their sacred rules simply cannot be broken. This lineage believes that divination leaks the secrets of heaven. They can only perform 1 reading per day. They even have to give away their wealth to help others, just to keep their karma balanced. The fee depends entirely on how massive the question is. Hearing this, the viewers started looking at Half-Tail Gold with newfound respect. He felt a bit shy, his face flushing red on screen. Actually, it's just my own lack of skill. Legend says King Wen could cast a hexagram at will. He knew all the blessings and disasters months in advance. Master, please, cast a reading for me. When will I finally stop being single? Someone took the chance to spam their birth chart in the chat, asking when he'd find love. Man, listening to how that fee works, you probably can't afford it. That's harder than the national team winning the World Cup. But hey, don't worry, my friend. I have a method to help you change your fate. Instantly, everyone in the chat got super curious. Half-Tail Gold froze, his face suddenly turning pale. Master Ning, no, stealing fate from heaven is way too dangerous to use for this. Who said anything about stealing fate from heaven? I was taken aback too. I looked at the screen, feeling a bit bewildered. What on earth is stealing fate from heaven? The Buddhism PhD in the chat chimed in to explain. Patrons, this humble monk actually knows this. In ancient times, it was believed your destiny was sealed at birth. Stealing fate from heaven meant performing grand rituals to beg the heavens for a new destiny. In the Romance of the Three Kingdoms, Zhuge Liang borrowing lifespan used this exact method. There are also fake burials. Wearing mourning clothes and preparing a coffin, they all achieve a similar effect. Amitabha, the entire chat room went dead silent after hearing that. Man, that sounds way too hardcore. Just to get a date? That's totally not worth the risk, right? I just smiled softly. Haha, it doesn't need to be that complicated. Haven't you guys heard the saying? Education changes your destiny. Half-Tail Gold was just looking at your current fate. But if you read more books, your destiny will naturally change. When that time comes, you might just go from being single forever to drowning in romance. That's what we call a turn of luck. What a wild move. First time I'm hearing, education changes your destiny, used like this. I get it now. No wonder I always had guys around me, until I got my PhD. Then poof, every single one vanished. The chat room wanted to comfort this viewer. But seeing her degree, they were instantly left speechless. Seeing that the mood was just right, and with our viewership breaking 50,000, I gave a slight smile. Well, since that's settled, my friends, it's time we hit the ghost market. The screen flashed, and the ghost market appeared. In the brief moment Half-Tail Gold interrupted us, the woman in the white fox fur robe had already vanished. Cold wind blew through the archway, setting the blood-red lantern swaying. Flickering like the eyes of a giant beast, it felt like the temperature completely dropped the second you stepped onto the street. Everyone here hides who they are, with only their eyes occasionally peeking out from the shadows. You can't read their emotions at all. They just whisper back and forth, hand over the cash or make a trade, and then leave without lingering for even a single second. As I stepped forward, my booming livestream chat suddenly went dead quiet. Everyone was glued to their screens. I pulled out my little flashlight, clicked it on, and a circle of light hit the ground. I walked slowly along, shining the light at the stalls on either side every now and then. I'd glance at a stall, look away, and keep walking. My viewers were getting confused. Is the ghost market really just like this, or is Master Ning just not trying? Why does it feel like he's just taking a stroll? Honestly, if you swapped the stalls for stinky tofu and street food, it wouldn't feel out of place at all. Oh, stop it, I can totally picture it now. He's literally just walking down a snack street. Case closed. Ha ha, I kept walking. It wasn't that I didn't want to join in on the fun. But one quick glance around, and I had absolutely zero interest. A modern, mass-produced blue and white jar with a chipped base. Unnatural, drippy lacquerware. A late Qing dynasty copper teapot with a burnt, brittle spout. The teapot had been smashed flat and popped back out, and it leaked right out the side. Some modern collectible walnuts made of dead wood, barely worth $11. Porcelain jar made 30 years ago, with obvious signs of being used. A beat-up, 50% new bike lock, made 20 years ago, completely rusted out and useless. One sweep of the eyes, and that was all I saw. Forget about finding hidden treasure. I was starting to think I'd walked into a fake ghost market. A used jar and a rusted bike lock? What the hell? Even a thrift store wouldn't dare sell garbage like this. The new viewers in the chat were getting restless. Hey streamer, this is false advertising. This isn't scary at all. Hurry it up, will you? Check the viewer count. Alright chat, let me show you guys something actually interesting. My eyes locked onto a particular stall, and I suddenly had an idea. I walked straight up to it, and my flashlight beamed down. The blinding white light totally dazzled the chat, forcing everyone to squint at their screens. That's when they realized I was pointing the light directly at a mirror. My heart gave a little jolt. Who puts a mirror out in a ghost market in the dead of night? Shining a flashlight right into it is seriously creepy. I shifted the flashlight, and the chat could finally see clearly. There was a person sitting at the stall, dressed in all black and wearing a headscarf. You couldn't even make out their figure. Then, suddenly, a face leaned out from the darkness. Sunken eye sockets, with eyeballs bulging so far out they almost popped. Two dry lips parted beneath a hooked nose, and half my viewers practically dropped their phones in terror. Looking to buy? Just browsing. I gave a quick, simple reply.